In this tutorial, we will explain how to monitor positions with bel.guard. Make sure to have watched all the previous tutorials to be able to follow this one. Warning: this tutorial does not replace the user manual. Please make sure to read through the user manual before using the configuration tool. Using this configuration tool affects the safety of the machine. Only authorized and instructed operators are allowed to use this tool. We will begin with configuring and parameterizing the SLP functions. To do this, open a new configuration. Now we can see parameters and safety functions for Axis 1 in the menu on the left. We start with the interface configuration and define 3 input signals. Click on the value field of DI1 and enter referencing enabled and single channel. With clicking on the arrow facing right, you proceed to DI2. Please enter the signal name reference trigger and again single channel mode. Go ahead with the arrow facing right and enter the name safe area and again single channel mode. Exit with OK. We will need an output. Please select Digital Outputs from the menu and DO1 from the list. Rename it Position OK and set the mode to single channel. In the menu on the left, select Safety Functions Axis 1 and scroll down to Safely Limited Position SLP and use the plus button to put in the value of 1. Now you will see an error message pop up on the bottom left. If you click on this error message, it will expand. The error message says Axis 1 SLP1 SP must be configured to use SLP. Therefore, we must in the list above also activate the SP function by pressing the plus button. Now this error message is gone, but a new one appears. Axis 1 SLP1 upper limit must be greater than lower limit. Before we correct this, we want to explain and parameterize the SP function. To do that, select SP function in the menu on the left. Please make yourself familiar with the diagram at the top and read the user manual for details. Here we have multiple parameters. The first parameter displays whether manual acknowledgement or automatic acknowledgement is activated. This means you can specify whether a user of the application must acknowledge the referencing manually. The next parameter below, called ref required, gives you the choice to determine whether this axis must be referenced. If this setting is active, the user must execute the referencing function after every start of the device. This is necessary, for example, when no multi-turn encoder can be used. The next parameter, ref position, is the value of the position which will be accepted in the moment the reference trigger signal is activated. This value may be 0, but depending on the design of the application, another value may be correct. Now you can connect the input signals to the SP function. Thus, click on the value field of input selection referencing enabled and select the input DI1, then press OK. Do the same with input selection ref trigger and select DI2. We want to output the status of the SP function to our digital output D1. So we configure the output selection position valid and select DO1 position OK. Exit with OK. Through our configuration, you have seen that the SP function is a required function for position monitoring. Now we also want to configure an SLP. To understand the signals with which the SLP function works, please make yourself familiar with the diagram. If you have done that, you can make the diagram window smaller by dragging it up. As you start parameterizing, you must once again choose the manual or automatic acknowledgement. Additionally, you must set the lower and upper limit. If the upper limit you choose to put in has a higher value than the lower limit, the error message we received earlier will disappear. The next parameter you must configure is the safe zone mode. You will have implementation situations in which a certain area must not be reached. Please make yourself familiar with this graphic to understand how safe zone mode works. A further parameter to configure is SLP T1. This is a time delay function. Use it to configure the latest possible time at which the monitoring will start. For now, put in the value 1000 milliseconds. Below, you can configure the parameter TD2. Here you may specify the start point of the monitoring after reaching the safe zone. Put in 100 milliseconds. Furthermore, we will have the parameter input selection request. It determines when this function will be activated. Open it and select DI3 Safe Area. Confirm by clicking OK. Now you have successfully configured SP and SLP functions. Please make sure to check out our other tutorials on how to use the bel.guard configuration application.